Hello. It's philosophy talk time. Now, if you, for some god unknown reason, have watched multiple of my philosophy talk videos, you know that much of the time I'm not talking about philosophy. I'm just rambling on about whatever is going on. So, my attention of late has been on talking with famous people. I guess I'm kind of excited about it in a really slow, long-termy kind of way. Like, I think this is a project I could do indefinitely. There's no there's no natural ceiling to it. There's no narrative arc that gets completed. There's no need for it to be exactly X or Y, as long as it sticks with being what it is, as long as it sticks with the basics of what it is, that is, say, me interviewing some random person. It offers endless possibilities. Whatever I happen to be interested in at the moment, my questions can be shaded by that. I can stay interested in the process. For the YouTube videos, I've set them up at a standard length of about 10 minutes. Makes it about 4 or 5 hours of editing per episode. I'm going to do it twice a week. I mean, more is better. But, well, for the video, I'm aiming to do whatever I feel like doing. I would hope it would be at least twice a week. But for the podcast, which I'm doing at the encouragement of another person, is very helpful in life. I want to encourage people. We're talking to famous people too. If they're telling me like, well, I'm doing this thing, but I have doubts. Well, yeah, I know. It sucks. We all have doubts, So encouragement from other people is nice. It really, and not encouragement like, yeah, you're gonna make it and make a bunch of money or something. I just mean encouragement like, take the time to appreciate the ways in which what you do can enrich your own life and your own sense of yourself. It's like we're taught and trained mercilessly from early on in life to not spend too much time patting ourselves on the back. There may be, I'm sure there is, some subpopulation, but it may be a sizable subpopulation, I don't know, of individuals who are too prone to self-congratulation. But I haven't encountered a whole lot of them. Most people seem to err on the other side, right? They have doubts. They think they're not good enough. We think we're not good enough. We think we don't deserve to sit around and go, wow, I made that thing. I love listening to my own thing that I made. You think that's not okay. Well, why the fuck not? Right? I mean, you're not saying, wow, this thing I made is so cool, you all should pay attention to it. You should buy it. I should make money off of this. And I want recognition, I want chicks, but if you're doing that, then obviously you're just a big douchebag. But what I'm saying is, you like it. And you think there's things about it that are shiny. And as a society, we've come to treat the making of shiny things to be of one of two things. It's either you're important, and so you making shiny things is very, very important work, and everyone must cater to your every whim and coddle you. Or you're not, in which case your making of things is an imposition on others, basically. Like, look, you, why do you want so much attention all the time? Like, why are you so narcissistic, or whatever people might say to dismiss somebody who's trying to put themselves out there. I really would like to see something a lot more like the community that Candace has, manifesting around makers of all sorts of different communities. So the crafters in Candace's crafting community, I don't think they tend to view themselves as important, with the possible exception of a couple of people. Candace has talked to me about a lady who likes to present herself all the time as a fine artist, and to attempt to maintain and reinforce differentiations between herself and her pupils if she's teaching a class, or her customers if she's selling a work to those customers, or perhaps even a fellow maker if she deems that fellow maker to be of less significance. It doesn't work at all in that community or any community. But for the vast majority of people in that community, there is not any aspiration of artistic accomplishment to muddy the waters in general. So they're not seeing themselves as making something that is for the ages exactly, or that is important, quote unquote. They see themselves as making something of high quality that's good and useful and cool and whatever, as a commodity, as a product. I guess a standard mythology about that hold over from the 70s, maybe the 60s. I'm not exactly sure when this particular meme became predominant, or for how long it was predominant, but specifically the notion that selling out, that financially accruing the benefits of your success in terms of listenership if you're a musician, or in terms of viewership if you're a filmmaker, the notion that that is bad is harmful. It's a very bad notion, because it suggests that your artistic vision is made worse by better understanding what makes the consumer of your media happy. I don't buy that. And I think to the extent that you can point to examples of, terrible media that's also lowbrow, Well, in that instance, I don't think that correlation is necessarily going to be any stronger than terrible media that's perceived as highbrow. Or at least I'm not willing to concede the point until I see some, or try to think about it, pay attention to it for a while and see what it feels like, See how it plays out. I don't really watch enough TV to do that test. Anyway, I don't care anyway. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't know. I'm tired and I'm fighting a lot with Candace. It's interesting when I pull away from it long enough to sort of analyze it. I don't know what to do about it though. Yeah, that's tense. It's difficult. Just thinking about it's difficult. I'm determined to preserve this marriage. I'm not going to stop trying to preserve this marriage. And it's going to take a lot more convincing for me on my end before I'm willing to throw in the towel. I mean, the thing is, what we're fighting about is nothing except how we're fighting. And who's responsible for this fight, and who owes whom an apology for what, and whether or not this act of mine constitutes a clear bad act, but a mild one, or unclear depending on its motivations, bad act, but a medium one, or a very small bad act, but still worth noting. And the resolution can be achieved through ritual blame acceptance, I guess. You're right, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. So, what do you do if you're in this situation? A monster's chasing you down a canyon. So, me and my partner Joe here, we run to the end of the canyon. There's the wall, there's the two doors. The wall only goes up yay high. You can see over it. Bars all the way to the top though, can't climb over it. You can see each door has a passageway. This one, two options. Option A, 4 doors. Option B, 0 doors. From the right hand door, option C, 1 door. Option D, 1 door. Joe, hey, alright. Look, I can see at least one step along this path here, this little labyrinth we gotta deal with. So, and you can see a little bit past everything else even, so let's figure this out. Joe, which door do you want to go? Left or right? Well, the left door is not going to work. So the right one then? Look, the problem is we really should have gone left back there. Yeah, I agree. We should have gone left. Okay, now look, we got to get away from the monster. So, left door or right door? Well, if we had just gone to the left back there, but even if we hadn't, if we just gone that right way that went up to the top, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. Joe, I know, I hear you. But look, dude, okay, let's try another angle. First of all, let me ask you this. Do you want, which of these three choices? You want 4 doors, 0 doors, 1 door, or 1 door? Which of those things do you want? Well, I guess I want 4 doors. Alright, great. So that means we're going to go in the left door. Let's go. Wait. No, I don't. But I don't think 4 doors is going to work, and I don't want to go in the left door. I already established the left door is not going to work. Okay, so then look. If the left door is definitely not going to work, then we have to go in the right door, right? Why don't we go in the left door? But you just said the left door couldn't possibly work. Yeah, but the right door is worse. You know what I meant. Okay, fine. Left door, great. All right, we're through the left door now, Joe. We have another choice to make. We're going to go to the door, passageway with 0 doors, the passageway with 4 doors. You know what? It was a mistake to go through this left door. You shouldn't have hurried me like that. Yeah, I'm sorry I hurried you. I really am. But which of the ways you want to go? You want to go to 4 or the 0? Let's go to a 1. 1's off the table. We chose the first choice, eliminated those two options, so now we got these two options. If we had just gone left back there, right? The question is this: can you preserve a marriage a conflict? Let me start over on this. A conflict is, by definition, a problem currently engaging your attention and energy. When we are engaged in a conflict, it's a problem. When we disagree and are arguing about something, we are both saying to the other person implicitly, by disagreeing and arguing, we're saying, I want something to fix this brokenness. Basically a contradiction. Wait, I believe this, but you believe the opposite, and I always thought you were one of me. And if you were one of me, then you'd believe like I do, but you believe the opposite. So what the hell's going on here? That is the process by which people find themselves in conflict. So, since it is the thing that is currently occupying your attention at the moment when it's occurring, obviously, everything meets that definition, but you have only two choices. You're either looking for, or you have three choices, really, I guess. You're either looking for drama, which most adults aren't really looking for drama. They don't want trouble just for the sake of it. That's number one. Number two, you're looking for justice. You feel wronged, and you need justice to stop being mad. Or number three, the person you're talking to is responding atypically. By that I mean, if I say, why did you stab him in the arm 5 times? And you say, he bumped into me. Well, that's not a good enough reason to stab him. Did he push you super hard? He just barely brushed into me. That's not a good enough reason to stab him. Well, I failed to mention he had brushed into me once last week. And he never said, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, so we're even. Well, no, you're not even. Right? That's not an acceptable justification for that. It matters. Right? It matters whether our justification is he brushed into me or he had pulled out a gun, he had my wallet in his hand, and he said, now you die, motherfucker. And was lifting the gun to my head right before I whipped up my knife and stab. Well, that's a very different emotional response hearing that story than stabbing somebody because they brushed into you and didn't say, excuse me. So we do need to evaluate the legitimacy of a justification. It's important. When there's a conflict, often the arguments in a conflict are going to sound like this. When I entered room Z and said comment X, you responded with statement R, and that made me feel bad because of content Z, tone W, or it could be like expectation in, right? So, for example, if it's Valentine's Day and you come home and say, hey, baby, I had a great day at work, really good to see you. What are we doing for dinner? You want to get some hamburgers? Even though that's you being a great husband 24 hours earlier, it's you failing miserably 24 hours later, same exact thing. Why? Because expectations have changed. So, you've got these various reasons that people are going to offer up as justifications for being mad. In other words, I am the one who was wronged. You are the one who perpetrated the wrong. I have cause to be mad. You do not. Sometimes that's true. I experienced it in my life. I mean, not that long ago. It might look from afar like he said, she said, who knows what really happened. Really cut and dry. You know, she tried to defraud me. She made false. I mean, she, like, it wasn't like I was. You were doing stuff too. No, I wasn't. You know, she just. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to talk about that. The point is that sometimes it's that way. But really, it's only that way when one of the persons is not well-intentioned. If both people are trying to be objective about their own role, if both people are trying to be fair to the other person, then most of the time, two fair, objective, not ultra super defensive people will be able to acknowledge some things and admit some faults and, hold the other person accountable for some things and be okay. And be okay knowing that, hey, we're both human. We're all human. We both screwed up. We both did X and Y. Nobody screwed up like that, okay? Nobody, slept around. So, it's not like that kind of marriage problem. That's why I'm sure that's why I can't believe it could possibly end. There's not anything close to adequate cause for it to end, right? Except we're having difficulties working through that canyon, right? Which door? Left or right? Left. Okay, why? Well, it looks brighter over there. Okay, fine. Let's use that rule. Let's go follow. Oh, and then this one's brighter, so we should go to that one too, right? No, well, that doesn't apply in this case. Well, why not? Because I don't feel like going to the brighter one this time. I feel like So, well, what about your previous justification? Let's actually, now you made me mad. Let's go outside again and look at the first two doors. Meanwhile, the monster's closing. The monster being, uh, I guess, the end of my patience at certain points. I don't know. I don't know what the monster is, but, yeah, that's what we gotta fix. Uh, and, you know, then Joe says to Bob, turns around after an hour of this, I don't even want the left door. Now I want the right door. No, no, I didn't say the right door. I said the other right door. Well, I did mean that right door, but I meant this right door. After an hour of Bob saying all that stuff, I mean, Joe saying all that stuff, or whoever it is, Bob saying all that stuff, Bob goes, God damn it, Joe. Why are you preventing us from getting through these doors? It's... I gotta think hard. At the moment, it's to find a solution. Because the problem is, the goal is to get to the other side. Right? I'm not sure we know what the goal is. I'm not sure we're on the same page around the goal. Discussing the imperfections of each door, each possible choice, how it doesn't present the perfect options, has very limited value in helping to make the right choice, and no value whatsoever if its purpose is to avoid making any choice. So I gotta figure out that. How do I solve that? How do I solve that without lying and manipulating? I could solve it. I'm not gonna do that. No way. I mean, I could, like, orchestrate some shit. It would probably blow up my face anyway. I'm sure it would. But just to clarify, I don't know. You're probably thinking, like, well, what is he talking about? I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to fix it indirectly, while allowing her to pretend it's not being fixed, I could probably scheme something up. But I mean, first of all, I don't have a follow through. Second of all, it's not cool at all. It's like douchey authoritarian. So, no. But I definitely gonna keep fighting. See what we can do. I know it's not just... I know there's trust issues. She doesn't want to let me pin her down on anything. She thinks I'm going to debate her on it, Fact is, I'm not trying to debate anything. Fuck you, fly. Landing on my foot. Goddamn flies. I'm gonna get them. I don't feel any remorse when I smash a fly. Because it'll land on my foot like 15 times in a row. I shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. God damn it, you flies, stop landing on me. like that, you know. So fuck those flies. I don't feel bad at all for killing them. I don't like them, and I don't think their lives are very valuable. And even though I'm opposed to arbitrarily killing things, they give me good enough reason when they land on my foot. If I'm wearing thongs, and so I just my bare foot they're landing on, you can't ignore that. You gotta shake it off. So, that's my story today about my difficult marriage problems, my fly problems, and my problems with Rob Lim. Rob Lim was a childhood friend. So they moved away in probably 5th grade or something. Robert Lim. He went to Mammoth with me one time. He was cool. I remember his house. I remember what it looks like inside. Sorta. It was like smaller than my house. But same neighborhood. I'm sure it's worth like $1 million now. Anyway, that's it. Have a good afternoon.